Hey y'all. So sorry I'm late. Turns out someone in Africa wanted to sign on to my Facebook account. And so Facebook blocked me. Thank you, Facebook, and made me change my password. So that's why I'm late. It took a while, 7, 10 minutes. Wow, to get that straightened out. So I apologize for that. But these things happen. Bring it on is my thinking now. So that's a great, another example of what I talked about yesterday when, our thinking gives us the kind of energy we need to solve the problems that we run into every day as we help our autistic young adults systemize self-reliance. So let me just introduce the topic today, which is when we are finding our kids under a dark cloud. A dark cloud looks like life is unfair. Nobody loves me the way that I need to be loved. Everybody is giving me, bad advice and I don't want to hear it. And, all the negative thinking that says, I'm going to stay right where I am. I'm going to stay right here in my comfort zone and I'm not going to change. And I have all kinds of really good reasons for that. So this is what we all face on a regular basis. It happens in my household often. And now I see it as oh, there's a dark cloud. Bring it on. So what's underneath this dark cloud? Let's see if I think I might have to go someplace else to be able to, there it is. Okay, what's underneath the dark cloud? So, usually what's under the dark cloud is a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. I mean, I do believe that the DSM should include that as one of the markers for autism. It's just the kind of brain that they got in the genetic lottery. We got in the genetic lottery. It's just on hyper alert all the time. So there's some kind of, what's going to go wrong here? If I change what I'm doing, something else is going to go wrong. And I really don't know if I can handle that. So that's the first thought. The next thought is what happens is they get crushed by this dark cloud. So this is just this black cloud of all the gloom and doom and all the negative future predicting and all of the angst and the emotions that they want to avoid. And that's what's happening. There's the sun up here, which is just the universal symbol for energy, but there's something that is really blocking it. And that kind of, it's just that it's all that peace of mind is an elusive place for them. It's very rare that they can find the peace of mind that they need to move forward with and grasp hold of some of these challenges, these struggles, and say, bring it on. It's that I'll never, I can't, or this is awful, or ah, that's what, I hear in my house a lot. So just notice that that's what's going on and see if we can dial up the compassion for that one, because I really do believe that they were born this way. And because of that, as Barb Avila talks about in Seeing Autism, there's just a whole cascading of events that have happened that have created the patterns that they use to manage their life, some of which are helpful and some of which are not. So what we need to do to help them through this is, we need to recognize that what we're going to get is a lot of resistance. I don't want any help. No one can help me. What I'm doing is fine. Leave me alone. I want to stay right here. And so here's what is happening. The parent is saying, yeah, but I noticed something that you need to change. And it's my job to warn you about it, because if I don't warn you about it, it's going to crush you. And from a combination of fear and love, we try to coach our child and give them advice. And what the result is often, which ties back to our thought, is the warning sounds a lot like an alarm in their heads. I'm just, in our own heads, we're trying to sound the alarm because that's our job, is to warn. In their heads, it's going like red. It's like really going crazy because in their heads, they're saying, here's the advice. Nope, I don't want to hear it. They're rejecting it. I reject. That's the emotion I feel. I resist, resist, resist. I tell you all the reasons why you're wrong and I'm right. And I stop listening. That's, does this sound familiar in your household? I don't want this. I don't want this. And so now what do we do? Because we know our job is to warn them about the things that could happen. I mean, that is our job as parents, and they're not hearing it. Now what do we do? So what we need to do is first recognize that we cannot replace the thought that they have, nope, I'm noping out with, oh, yes, Mom. Oh, wise and wonderful parent of mine. I know you love me and have my best interest at heart. So I'm going to take notes while you talk. I mean, I know that I'm exaggerating just to make a point of they're noping out and we're saying, yes, but this is so valuable. Why don't you pay attention? I wish somebody had told me this, right? Because that negative thinking is so very powerful. Our brain, this part of our brain, which we love and adore. We love that part of our brain, that primitive part of our brain that is saying, no, 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 warning, warning. They want me to change. They want me to use my energy, and I like to keep my energy, and I like to stay in that place where things are warm and familiar, and I feel like I've got a connection. I don't want to step out of my comfort zone. Thank you very much. Just recognize that when the scientists study what we think about, 80% of what we think about is negative. I mean, that's eight out of 10 thoughts are negative. That's a huge 4-to-1 ratio, 5-to-1 ratio. Anyway, it just means that there's 4-to-1. It's just there's tons more negative energy in our brain than there is positive energy. And that's where we have to have compassion, because especially with our kids, that amygdala, that primitive part of our brain, is on fire and has been on fire their whole lives. So now what do we do? How do we get, out of this? Well, what we teach them is, believe it or not, life is good. So somehow, and this is going to fall in that advice thing, but the shift has got to be from, oh crap, to, oh my God, life is good. It's really got to go, we've really got to figure out how to get that shift. And the best way I know to do this is gratitude. It just is. It's recognizing how many things in this world are here supporting you, my lovely young adult who I love down to your toenails. I'm, always going to be here for you. And I want you to recognize, what's going right in your life. So if we can somehow sell to them that what they need to do is take a breath in and then think of one thing that they appreciate. A roof over my head. Breath 2. I have food in the refrigerator. Breath 3. I have Wi-Fi. Breath 4. I have a device to use it with. A laptop, whatever, a tablet, a phone, Wi-Fi. 5. I'm going to be grateful for my phone. 6. I'm going to be grateful for the laptop that I have access to, or the desktop, or whatever. And if we can get them to, if we can sell them on this concept of breathing in and breathing out 20 times, naming those 20 things that they are so appreciative of, the cloud will part and the sunshine will come down and they will have energy. This is how we break through. Now, how you convince them to do this is, as the head doctor in The Good Doctor told the girlfriend who wanted to marry Sean in the one episode that I watched, he said, you're going to have to find your own way in. you know, she was looking for advice as to how to connect with Sean, and he was saying, you're going to have to find your own way. So I'm going to echo his advice and say, you're going to have to find your own way to figure out how to sell this concept to your children. But remember, you're selling them because you're trying to convince them to change the way that they behave. And that's not so easy. So maybe the first step might be to do it yourself. What do you think about that? I think it's a great idea. Because I've been doing it every day. And what I've done to make it happen every weekday, I'm going to say, maybe I do it more on the weekends too. But when at the end of exercising, we, my daughter and I, do a meditation, and it's using an exercise ball, and it's from oh, what, why can't I remember her name? Anyway, from the Australian or New Zealander. Anyway, she's just fantastic. I'll have to tell you more about her later, but she understands autism. The zebra is her symbol. I'm gonna have to remember her name, find the book. But we do that meditation, and that's when I do my 20 breaths, in and out, in and out. And actually I do 30 because it fits well with the exercise that I do, the meditation exercise that I do. And so I've linked it to something that I already do, and that's the best way that I know how to get that habit going. And so I try to convince my daughter to do it. I'm still working on it, you know. Sometimes if I do it out loud, she laughs and gets a little annoyed by me. But, you know, however, we have to find our own way to convince our kids that these tools that we're giving them are tools that they need to have in their toolbox, and they need to have them for the rest of their lives, and they need to practice them for the rest of their lives, because that dark cloud is pervasive. It's going to always be there because negative thoughts are so much more powerful and so much more frequent than positive thoughts. And we have to find a way to break through that black cloud and get to the source, the energy, to get them to create a life they love that works, one that they create that works for them. I hope this is useful, and I encourage you to give it a try. Bye for now.